You are far more than what you've been diagnosed with. I want to address something that really impacts me personally. I work in disability support as well as a teacher. And in both of those roles, you're told the disabilities and the mental illnesses of the people you're working with. And the idea is that by knowing the conditions they've got, you can better act and judge and respond to their needs, their issues, their concerns, and, just better help the person. And this is, of course, a good thing. But there's an inherent risk. The risk is that you put the blinders on and not see the person behind the condition, right? So let's say you've been diagnosed with BPD or Asperger's or schizophrenia or anxiety or depression or ADHD or, PTSD or any condition, right? There's an issue that if you're working with someone with one of those conditions, that you just look at them as the cookie cutter version of that condition. This person has anxiety, therefore it means that they are this. This person has BPD, this means they will act like this in response to this. This person has ADHD, so they'll struggle with this, right? That may be true in a general sense, but it might not be true for the person that you're dealing with. And if you apply this same logic to yourself, a diagnosis can be very trapping. If you've been diagnosed with a particular condition, you'll be told that people with your condition have troubles with this, they struggle with this, they're good at that. And that can really restrict you, because if you think that, well, I've got this condition and people with this condition struggle with this, therefore I'm going to struggle with this, that's very trapping. Whereas I prefer to look at diagnoses as more of a guidepost as opposed to a rule set. Someone with depression may struggle with certain things, but they may not. What does the individual themselves struggle with? Someone with Asperger's or autism may struggle with certain aspects of social connection, but they may not, or they may have deeper levels of insights than what they've been given credit for. I think you're getting the point. There's also an issue of incorrect diagnoses causing, misappropriations of behaviors and connections and judgments, both for other people dealing with people and for the people themselves, as well as the tendency for comorbidity. There's a lot of conditions that often seem to present similarly, and people may be diagnosed with one or all. And the problem with that is that someone with one condition might be like, well, I've got this one, but I've also got this, and this. And untangling that mess of a diagnosis sort of structure or tree is quite hard, both for the individual and for the person. The approach that I like to take when dealing with myself, and this is what I used in my book, How to Get Your Shit Together, was to call everything that's going on in here that's negative, that you don't like, a mental affliction. That includes all of the symptoms of a mental illness. It includes all of the issues. It includes all of the life stresses. It's basically, this is what is afflicting the brain. Now, my view is that by calling it a mental affliction and not a symptoms of this particular mental illness, it gives me wiggle room to start negotiating and breaking it down and getting through the barriers and dealing with it in a way that allows me the ability to get better. I've been told that given various issues that I've had in my past, that I will always struggle with certain things, or I'll never be able to do stuff. However, that's simply not the case. Those people talking to me back then were wrong. But if I listened to them completely and just accepted that I was stuck, I may not have been able to help myself, or not have, accepted the help of other experts that diagnosed my conditions and issues differently and gave me a different form of treatment. Do you see where I'm going with this? So I prefer to look at issues in myself and in others as mental afflictions. And as such, they are inherently more curable and more treatable and more dealable because they're not rigidly stuck to a strict diagnosis. This is just my thought. I just had the idea that, it's not as simple as a diagnosis. You are far more than your diagnosis. You are far more than your mental illness or your disability, because you are unique. You are individual. And I just wanted to just really put that out there for people that are interacting with people with mental illness or disability, and for you yourselves, because Far out. It sucks to feel trapped by your condition, and on top of that, by the stigma around your condition and the people putting you into that box. It's just a thought. What do you think? Comment below. Let me know. Like, share, subscribe. Tell people about it. It really does help. Thank you.